Hi, I am Daron Acemoglu. I am the Elizabeth and James Killian Professor of Economics at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. When you look at a historical kind of perspective, the United States has done extremely well in terms of institutional development, and one aspect of that is the institutional flexibility, the ability of new groups to challenge the system, generate new ideas, and place new constraints on politicians and elites. For example, during the Gilded Age and its aftermath, when there was a quite radical overhaul of the political system. So, it's true that the United States now is going through a very rough patch, both economically and politically. And, we are in a deadlock in many respects, and the economy seems to be very anemic, and China is growing rapidly. And many people in China and abroad are thinking, this is the end of the American century, this is the end of the Western, couple of centuries, and, China is going to rule and all that. But I think that's a little premature in the sense that, first of all, I think, I don't expect the United States to be in this deadlock for the next several decades. The same sort of institutional flexibility that worked, the same sort of inclusive system that enabled people outside the system to come and challenge the way that politics was done at the beginning of the century and has gotten people actively involved in politics throughout the 20th century, should again change the way things are and sort of break the deadlock. And I also expect the Chinese system not to be so resilient. China is just another example of what we call growth under extractive institutions. Growth under institutions that are that are designed to concentrate power in the hands of a small group, and that kind of growth works reasonably well when you have catch-up opportunities and when you can centralize power and use that power for allocation of resources or providing incentives for a small fraction of the society. And in fact, most remarkably, it worked even for the Soviet Union, which was a much more dysfunctional system than the Chinese one, a real communist system, whereas the Chinese one is sort of a quasi-capitalist system under the sort of the guiding hand of the Communist Party. But I think the Soviet Russian example was one of catch-up growth, and to a large extent the Chinese one is one of catch-up growth. And I think it's likely to run out of steam unless there is a major political overhaul that changes the system of incentives. The Chinese are sort of aware of this in the sense that while there is a lot of sort of pride in what they have built, they're also very afraid that the system doesn't generate enough innovation. So the Chinese government is trying to pour millions or billions into innovation, into high quality universities, into ways of trying to import technology from the West or generate their own technology. But I think it's going to be very tough because I think innovation requires a political and social and economic environment that is much more open than the one that's reigning in China right now.